All right, what's going on, everyone? We are here with the Week 6 recap for Phalanx, the best division of ODL. And today I am joined by.
Xande, the Brazilian guy.
Yeah, so we now have three Brazilian players, and he's one of them. And yeah, he's been really good this season, especially after making some changes to his team. He has had a really strong run, and he's been playing great. So, really looking forward to to looking at his match this week, and just in general, we have some really good matches in store for you guys today. Um, I think that this was a very intense week overall. There were a lot of implications for playoffs in this week, and so yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And we can see that the first up we have Wa versus Raphael. So Raphael, took over. This season basically started from scratch because he changed almost every Pokemon on this team. Um, and he's kind of built for himself a strategy of the Anchor Point Tauros with Frost Breath Frostlass. Um, he has a lot of good mons in general, though, and so that's kind of his main shtick is just kind of having good Pokemon, and very responsive too. So, and then Wa has one of the best teams in the league with Bascio Legion, who's super scary. Sinistcha is a great support mon and Trick Room setter, and Trick Room is actually pretty decent into this team. We see Quillfish coming, which is a new pickup for him, and Quillfish is actually pretty good into this team. It looks like with the dark moves, it hits some things. With water, it hits Tauros. With poison, it hits Rillaboom. So it should be a decent mon here. Florges is just a really nice special wall. Not a ton of special mons brought this week, but I guess half the team is special, so it's not bad. Um, Kilo, speed control, right? Just crafty, fake out, intimidate. Just a good mon in general. Um, and the reason I'm talking about these mons is because they are somewhat new to his team, and so he hasn't used them too much, and so the opponent doesn't necessarily know what he wants to do with them, which is a little bit scary if you're the opponent, right? So looking at the Terras, we see the two Terra normals for Basque, because these are the two Ghost Weak mons. Terra Steel is just a good general type for Tauros. He was normally Terra Water, actually. I think he's run Terra Water every week besides this, but he decided, I guess, because of Kilowattrel and Sinistcha, he doesn't want to be Terra Water this week. Then Terra Dragon resists the electric and the grass and the water. So it makes a lot of sense. And Florges is the only real mon that punishes the Terra Dragon, anyways. And they were steel types before, so they would resist before Terra. So very logical Terras, here. Then these are just good Terras, like Ghost for fake out, Poison because a fairy moves, and maybe Poison, Terra Poison, Poison Jab, Terra Grass. Um, Probably just a good defensive type into this team. So yeah, just kind of very straightforward stuff here. And yeah, let's get into it.
I would just add that the Terra type Florges, the fire, it's because we mocked against the fire type Florges and the Flygon because fire type is so good against Raphael's team, so good.
That's true. Yeah,
And
he has. I mean, just on this team alone, he has one resist and four weaknesses. So
yeah, so Wa came with the fire type Florges very well.
yeah, I think that could be very scary if it's Terra Blast as well. Could be putting in some work here. Um, and we see in the lead we have the Prankstermon and the Fastmon, so we could see very kind of fast paced game to start, and immediately the Grassy Seed on the Rillaboom himself. As Sinistcha switches in right away and a protect, so a very passive turn one, but gets the protect right there in exchange for trick, or sorry, in exchange for light screen, but trick comes out, giving the Kilowattrel lagging tail, um, meaning next turn it'll be, and all the following turns it will be moving last in its priority bracket, right? So even though air slashed first here, oh, gets the flinch too. it won't be moving fast in the next few turns, and that means even in Trick Room it'll still be slow. So pretty good tech there from Raphael. Um, and the light screen means this Rillaboom is probably not a 2-hit kill from Air Slash, which is also really nice. And then we see a Matcha Gotcha from the Sinistra, maybe getting a burn. Nope. So she gets a little chip, I guess. And then Sun comes out actually to support the Tauros. As Matcha Gotcha gets a little chip and Air Slash misses. That's huge because it would have done a lot of damage into Tauros. It's a pretty risky switch actually. Switching the flying weakness into the flying weakness, like when you know Air Slash is probably coming. So
Yeah, he took the dive there.
it's kind of crazy, but it works out because he got the 5% chance, right? I guess. Um, and he will Terra Steel, makes some sense. Honestly, then get some pretty nice damage with the Raging Bull. We haven't seen Hospitality yet, and it's in Sun boosted with Stab, right? So you assume that's either like Max Def Sinistra or Heat Proof, right? And the answer is probably gets Heat Proof, I would guess. Um, but Alluring Voice also gets some chip off, and then Tailwind finally comes out as Trick Room comes out too. Um, I talked to him about this play because typically setting Tailwind and Trick Room at the same time is really like kind of always a bad call because you double your speed and then make it so the slowest mons move first, right? So Sinistra actually like is a question of if he outspeeds or if Tauros or Sinistra will move first, which is like normally that's just never a question, but because you set Tailwind, that's now a problem you have to deal with. So typically, it's like not a good call. But his logic was he wanted to get a speed control off, and he figured that he would get doubled into, and so like something would die. Um, and by that logic, it actually does make sense because you can like either way you get the speed control you want, right? It only doesn't really work if they both go off, but even then, it's like not that bad. So I think that was
Oh,
the thought process there.
yeah, I see. Because it was very strange when I saw that the first time.
Yeah, I still don't think it was a great play, but I mean, it's not a bad play, right? Either way, it kind of works out. Okay. Oh, whoops! Did I just? What did I? Apparently, I muted the stream. I don't know what I
Oh,
did. I pressed a button apparently to mute the stream. So that's my bad. Um, or I this I'm just messing everything up today. But the we talked about the Trick Room Tailwind play, right? And then from there, um, it switches into Scrafty. Could be bad because of the alluring voice, right? But it doesn't come out there. Instead, we learn that Sinistra is Colberberry, um, which is good information for Raphael. Probably for knockoff on Rillaboom and a Mon that didn't come, I assume. I mean, Gliscor also gets knockoff. I forget who else he has, but um, yeah. And then Foul Play does like not a whole lot, and Sinistra barely lives the rock slide. Um, as
Only because of the intimidate.
huh? Oh yeah, the intimidate is also quite nice onto the Tauros because it it helped that Sinistra. um, and then Scrafty like tanks this alluring voice. It's definitely AV, but it's also brought like we've seen defensive Meowstics like every week pretty much, and so we know that this Meowstic is probably not super offensive. Paired with AV, this Scrafty is actually not taking a ton of damage, so it's pretty nice if you're Wah. Um, Foul Play does some more damage into Tauros as Sinistra goes down. But Scrafty's able to knock off, not quite able to kill Tauros, but will have one more turn of Trick Room now that Tailwind is gone. Did the stream die? Oh my god, what's going on? Let me pull up the stream. It says it's fine for me.
Let me see.
Looks fine to me too. I I don't think it died. I think we're good. I
Yeah,
think
it's
we're
fine
good.
for me.
Okay. I was concerned because we already had a lot of problems today, but we have one more turn of Trick Room now that the Tailwind is gone, meaning he'll be able to underspeed both. So unless it's Protect on Tauros, because we know Meowstic doesn't get Protect, this is probably a double kill here. So maybe forcing him to switch. And we do see a switch into Rillaboom actually, and a switch into Kilowattrel. Interesting. As Light Scream comes up, and this now Colbur Meowstic would have died, but he stole the Colbur Berry from Sinish.
The Cricket Coborberry.
That's an insane play. Um, but I mean, Scrafty, he knew it was Colbur Berry because he tricked it, but yeah, probably assumed it would kill, and it doesn't quite. So it's pretty good if you're Raphael. And now Trick Room is over. So Kilo hits the field for that reason, right? Wants to set Tailwind, but gets faked out. Alluring Voice does come off as well. And now Meowstic's dead, but Kilo did get faked out, so that's a little unfortunate. Um, and then, yeah, Crafty will just die to a Grassy Glide. And same with Kilowattrel. So now it's just Florges versus the world, and including a Steel type. So but he Terra Fire is actually a pretty good defensive Terra here, and it is Terra Blast actually, so that's quite nice. And he outspeeds Rillaboom. Interesting. So I think that reveals Scarf on Florges, probably, or unless it's like a slow Rillaboom and max speed, but probably Scarf on Florges, and doesn't go for the kill on Rillaboom, which would help the diff because he wanted, and or a switch into Tauros would also kill, right? So we would know that would be a guaranteed kill. But he wanted to learn information, right? He wanted to learn if that would 2-hit kill Magnezone, and it looks like it will. So that's good information to have.
Yeah, and with light screen on.
And what? Sorry.
Light screen was on
Oh yeah,
because
with
without
light screen, it's a
yeah,
2-hit kill.
with light screen. Yeah.
That's pretty good information. Yeah. Um. And so yeah, you know that Florges is gonna be putting in work here, potentially in the future games, right? We know he has the capabilities. So yeah, moving on to game two. Wah, who has dropped only 2 games at this point, who would be sitting at I think he was 3-2 before this game. But he was playing a really good season. He's now down a game, right? So he wants to bounce back here. Gonna have to adjust. We saw no Basket Legion game one, which is crazy. So I assume Basket Legion's coming. I assume Quillfish is gonna make at least one appearance in this game or the next. And then Floor just also looks like he can put in work. So we'll see what he goes for here. And it is Kilo Quillfish. Nice. Into the Tauros, who gets intimidated right away, but that won't matter if Frostlass is able to Frost Breath it, because then Anger Point will come off, and then it'll go back to max attack. So, with that in mind, he does Terra right away, and gets to max attack, but Quillfish goes for Haze, And there goes that attack boost, and suddenly they both live very easily. Great haze there. As Tailwind comes out, goes for the throat chop into what was the Frost Sass, so good play there. Or like a good switch there, sorry. And then Rock Slide is able to pick up on the Kilo. And now this Intimidate is gonna stick because there's no Frost Breath that to get rid of it, right? So maybe he wants to switch out Tauros here. But also Magnezone, both of them are fearing a fighting move, right? So kind of not a great call. Or it's a tough call to make, I guess. Throat Chop comes out, maybe expecting a switch and knockoff. So doubling into that slot, probably like expecting like a switch or protect. Maybe we haven't learned if it's protect or not. Yeah, we haven't learned if it's AV though, so it's not protect. But it's
Knockoff does 4 or 5. It does so much, so much.
yeah, I think I think the the double dark move was to cover for a switch into Meowstic or Frostlass, right? Um, and so yeah, pretty reasonable play there. And we learn that it's lefties as Quillfish does die to a Thunderbolt actually. So now it's down to the last two in a 4v2, but still not a bad spot because you're in Tailwind, right? Scrafty's able to knock off the Meowstic here if he wants. Florida just could Terra Fire, Terra Blast, so like we're in a pretty decent situation still. He does protect Magnezone and tricks the lagging tail, but targets the Meowstic's a great call there, and knockoff. So really nice. Meowstic does go down, even though you're lagging tail Florges instead of Troy Scarf, which is a huge difference in speed. You're still in a good spot here because the only thing that threatens you is Rock Slide Tauros, right? But you have a Scrafty who threatens Tauros, so like you're in a pretty good spot here. And Brick Break does a ton of damage too. So, and you tank that pretty well. Even after that crit Thunderbolt, yeah, you kill Magnezone, and now Scrafty. Well, Scrafty might not outspeed Tauros here, actually. Maybe, I think you should have doubled into the Tauros, knowing that, because in this situation, right, you know Tauros can't switch into Frossass or else it'll die. Like, if you go for, sorry, we're in this situation. Were we? Where were we? No. We were here. Yeah.
One back, yeah.
So if you're going for Brick Break here, if you go for Brick Break and Terra Blast, then here's what's gonna happen: like either Tauros dies, or if it's a switch into Frostless, Frostless dies to a Terra Blast, or like yeah, actually he can't protect because AV, and he could switch into Frostless, but either way, he'll die. So that's just I think the best play. You can kill Magnezone with Scrafty after, but you don't really need to do that because he doesn't threaten this AV mon and very high speed F mon, right? So I think that was a little bit of a misplay because now this game is losable, right? If it's Frost Breath into Rock Slide, that could kill, right? Ooh, but instead
Yeah,
Icy Wind misses, and then Rock Slide does kill Florges, but
and you
Scrafty could
risk the
win this.
flinch. Yeah, and you risk the flinch.
But doesn't get the flinch, misses the Frost Breath too, and Knockoff is able to kill. Not that either of those really mattered, but the Rock Slide flinching could have been crazy. Yeah, I think the objective play here was just to Terrify or Terra Blast into the Tauros after this, right? Because you're in this situation. If you kill the Tauros, then it's Frostlass and Magnezone, and you just knock off Terra Blast, right? And then I don't think there's a world where you lose.
Yeah, because Rafa could Frost Breath Taurus and the Hack Slide. I don't know if he would kill Scrafty, but you risk so much of the flinch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's an alternative there because Frostlass can't like damage Scrafty, so he kind of needs Tauros. Oh, but you could wait. You will kill your own Tauros actually with the because we saw it did 16%.
Oh yeah,
So you probably
yeah,
kill your own Tauros
yeah,
by doing that. So maybe you just maybe that's why. Actually,
yeah.
that's
There was no
probably
way. There
why.
was no way.
So this situation was pretty cooked. Unless he gets a rock slide flinch right on Scrafty, in which case he actually wins the game, right? Because he can just fighting move into Scrafty, then it's over. So But yeah, really close call for Wah there. And Basque Legion has to come game 3. If he doesn't, I don't know what we're doing here. I mean, Basque Legion's not super good into this team, but it's Basque Legion, and it's just good into Tauros, right? It's good into some things, so I expect to see it. And it's a Quillfish lead again. I love Quillfish. Getting that Intimidate off. The double Intimidate, actually. So really wanting this Frost Breath to go off, right? But Quillfish goes for Haze again.
Again.
Oh my god, this Quillfish is amazing. And he brings Frost down to wait, sorry. This was Sash Frost? I thought we learned it was Sash Meowstic because he tricked it onto Sinistra, right? Oh wait, no,
No, now,
he stole Sash from Kilowattrel. Got you.
yeah, it's Meowski's lagging tail.
Yeah. Yeah, you're of course. Yeah, you're right. Um Ooh, Destiny Bond. Really good call there because Quillfish now goes down for like nothing, right? And gets uh, a boost on his Tauros. So really good play there from Raphael to bring it back after turn 1, right? It was a really good turn 1 for Wah, and now a really good turn 2 for Raphael. As we see a Terra Steel, right, because of the fairy option. Um, Ironhead, though, into the Terra Fire, and Terra Fire, Terra Blast with a crit. Oh my god, Wah just read his life, bro. Holy soul lead. Soul read, bro. Um, he sees the Tauros and he's like, yeah, that thing's gonna Terra Steel. So he Terra Fire, Terra Blast, covers for the Steel move, right?
Blur just did so much in these games.
Wow. Yeah, that floor just putting in work. And now Magnezone hits the field, who's also weak to this Florges. I mean, you probably trick the Florges. Well, no, you have to Alluring Voice and T-Bolt Scrafty probably, right? You've already Terra'd, but you know you live this, so that's probably the play. And then next turn you can like, I don't know. It's pretty cooked actually if you're Raphael at this point. But yeah, that would be the play. It looks like in this situation, right? Alluring Voice and but he goes into the Kilowattrel with Volt Absorb. Oh yeah, no, it's over.
Over.
Yeah, you needed to kill Scrafty there. And yeah, the light screen's gone anyways. Yeah. You had to light screen the next turn, right? So, like, in this situation, you double the Scrafty, then it's Kilo and Florges versus Magnezone and yeah, actually it would be 3% Meowstic and full HP Magnezone still, right? Because of the attack priority. I think it would be Um, it'd be like this, but it would be floor just left, and then at that point you can light screen for Magnezone, and then like target down the floor just, and then you still probably lose that. So yeah, it was pretty cooked, but yeah, then he finishes off the Magnezone. So yeah, good comeback there by Watt, and we didn't see Basque Legion the whole set. We saw a Sinistra game 1, right? But we didn't see it games 2 or 3, and we didn't see Basque Legion at all. And we saw how prepared Raphael was for it with the Terra types, with the Terra Normal, Terra Dragon, right? Very prepared for the Basque Legion. And it's someone you have to respect, right? It's someone you have to prepare for. And so it's not like an overreaction by any means by Raphael, but really interesting there just to not see it at all.
Yeah, I give Hazy Quillfish the MVP.
Oh, I mean, for sure. That was awesome. Like, literally, the only 2 times he clicked it was after anger points. Like, look, like, we like, oh, put in some work. Oh no, Frost Breath Thoros. Oh, what are we gonna do? And then just, boom, gone. And then it was also turn 1. Yeah, it was turn 1 again. Because that's when Raphael normally goes for it, right? You just, boom, gone. It's crazy. Wow. Really good set there from Moi. All right. Now is my match versus Nick. This match insane because we were the top 2 teams at this point. He was currently 5-0. I was 4-1, right? So coming into this match, I had dropped my week 4 game. He has not dropped a single set. He dropped 1 game, I believe. yeah, he had dropped to one game in 5 weeks, which is just ridiculous. Um, so I think his team is just really good. The two mons he didn't bring, by the way, are Dragonite and Volbeat. And then also uh also Glamora, but Glamora was kind of never coming into my team because Glamora is pretty terrible into my team, and Orthram just alone destroys it. So, I don't think I don't think Glamora was ever really coming, but Dragonite and Volbeat I was very prepared for, and those were the mons that I had a lot to think about a lot because very scary, right? Banded Dragonite does a ton of damage. Volbeat has Prankster Weather to change the weather on my team, so that's why I brought two Weather Setters this week, right? And so I was kind of very mentally prepared for that. And he actually decided to opt for a hard trick room mode, which was a little bit surprising to me because I knew he was going to go for trick room, like for sure, and I put a ton of effort into trying to stop that trick room, but I was a little surprised that he didn't bring either Volbeat or Dragonite. I thought for sure at least one of those was coming, and I thought between Clawitzer and Mudsdale, I thought they were both good into me, especially Clawitzer, but I thought only one of those was really coming. Mian Shao was like a maybe. I mean, all of his mons were potential to come, but I was like, Bisharp definitely comes, Glow King definitely comes, and then Clawitzer or Mudsdale or both. Or yeah, I thought like one of the two would probably come, but they're both good options. Um, and so yeah, my thought process was just stop Trick Room, especially once I see this team without bringing Tailwind. Right, he has only one fast mon. Like, look at these speed tiers. Like, they're just insanely slow. Like, Bisharp is the second fastest mon on this team, right? Which is insane. But I know he's going hard Trick Room here, and so I feel like in like a pretty good spot. I'm like, oh my gosh, I built my team to counter Trick Room, and he is bringing a hard Trick Room team. So I feel like this is a very favorable matchup for me. Um, at this point, like not in terms of general, but like coming into this game. So I immediately lead my Executor to learn the items, and it's Mental Herb and Throat Spray, right? But I'm not trying to taunt him. I'm not going to stop him from saying Trick Room in a traditional way. I'm not even going to use Imprison. What I'm going to do actually is he can tear all he wants, but I'm going to sleep the Sylveon right before he can move. And that I don't think that speed tier was intentional. I think the Sylveon. I don't know why I moved first. Maybe I did my speed tier wrong, but I thought I would be. Actually, maybe I did it right, but I thought I would be slower than Sylveon, but Sylveon moves after me actually, so I sleep it. Um, and then I whirlwind. So I whirlwind out the Slowking Galar before he can set Trick Room. Now, he doesn't have Trick Room up, doesn't have his Trick Room setter on the field, and in fact, he has a Mon weak to my Executor. So Executor is going to be able to just like Oko this thing, or even if he's AV, I Oko it with Leaf Storm, I believe. But Mudsdale's probably the AV Mon, right? Um, so I know that in this situation, I can just rip a Leaf Storm, or I can just be in a good spot, right? He does wake up in one turn and protect, which is kind of like whatever, but he double protects. And so I do Leaf Storm and high horsepower, but he double protects, so it's kind of fine. Actually, I get a little bit of Sandstorm chip, so it's kind of fine by me. Um, and then he switches into Bisharp, right? As I Terra Poison, expecting a Hyper Voice, but he chooses to Terra Blast instead, which is actually a worse play. But I think the logic was actually, yeah, it is a worse play because Throat Spray. It's just kind of always better to go for that there. And
Yeah, I don't understand this play.
something interesting I just learned is that, or that I just saw. You see how he just went first here? I
Yeah,
think that
I'm
means we're speed tying.
yeah, you split time with what?
I I thought I put more effort into my EVs than that, or maybe I just forgot I would speed tie it. But maybe I must be 58 speed. Um, the idea was
Yeah.
to outspeed Claude by one. Maybe that was the idea. But I forgot that would speed time me with Sylveon. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I just forgot about Sylveon in terms of that speed tier. And I missed a sleep powder in it, which isn't great. but I yawn the Bisharp, which is huge, right? Because now Bisharp wants to switch, but his two switches are water types, and I have Exeggutor in the field with Leaf Storm, right? So I could just rip a Leaf Storm into that slot. He does switch, right? But I'm prepared for it. And I believe I do just Leaf Storm into that slot. I don't quite kill, but I high horsepowered into the slot to cover for him staying in. So it would have been better to actually to attack Sylveon there because of Sand Chip. But this covered both plays, and so I think this would makes a lot more sense, right? Because high horsepower plus Leaf Storm will do a ton to Bisharp, right? And then he would be asleep anyways. So no matter what, this play will end up with me at the advantage, and his Hyper Voice doesn't do a ton of damage, even though he gets a Throat Spray boost. Um, and so yeah, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot here, especially because he just lost his only Trick Room setter, and he has a hard Trick Room team. So now my entire team outspeeds him. So that's pretty awesome. The one thing though is that Klotzer is a real threat, right? So I switch into Orthworm because even if I take a ton of damage here, that's okay because I'll live unless he Aura Spheres, which would be like a read there. Um, and T-Terra Blast, which is kind of fine by me. Water Pulse is a lot of damage, but I'm Citrus Berry, so like I I don't live another one, but I live the Sylveon, right? And so like I feel like I'm in an okay spot there. And then I sleep the Sylveon. So I think oh by the way, I timed the sandstorm turns right. So like I knew I could stay in even if I barely lived because of sandstorm ending. I wouldn't die to sandstorm. Um but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um I shed tail here just to get in Garchomp. I figure he's just gonna water pulse the slot again, or sphere the slot, right? But either way, I get a free switch in a Garchomp. Like I don't take damage on switch in, and so it's fine doing that. And he does just Aura Sphere it, right, which is fine. Um, as I sleep the Klotzer here, right? And he stays asleep here, so I'm able to Iron Head. I don't quite kill. And because I Leaf Storm at -2, I also don't quite kill the Klotzer. But that's kind of fine because I can switch into Orthworm and just Earthquake here, and I should kill both, right? Unless he wakes up. Um, and protects, right? And that's exactly what he does. He does wake up and protect, but it doesn't really matter. I get a heal Orthworm and kill Klotzer. And at this point, this is a really cooked situation for him because he has Sylveon to threaten my Garchomp, but I can just Earthquake and kill before it moves, and then I have Body Press for Bisharp. So even if he like Brick Breaks and kills my Orthworm, it doesn't matter because he's just gonna lose the game, right? And so he Sucker
Yeah, it's
Punches
over.
to try and do something, but yeah, it's pretty cooked here. And then I body press, clean up, but yeah, I felt like I played a really solid game that game.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
And
The thing is, no one was expecting Whirlpool
yeah,
hypo down. No
whirlwind
one.
is fire
Yeah,
attack.
Whirlwind, hypo down. What's another word?
um,
I want to see how he will set Tricky Home in the next game because I don't see how. It's
exactly.
very hard.
I think it's pretty impossible. And so that was my thought process too. I thought like he just tried hard trick room, it didn't work, so he's gonna pivot to his quote unquote fast mode, which is just Mian Xiao, maybe with Bisharp, but like just Mian Xiao is for sure coming in the lead, right? Um, and maybe he wants to fake out trick room, in which case I still have an answer because if I lead the same thing, but instead, I opt to go for my response to his fast mode, which is my kind of fast mode, which is Talonflame and Hippo, right? Mainly just Talonflame. And the logic is that I can just kill Mienshao with a dual wing beat, right? And so I'm just gonna do that, right? Hippo can like yawn Mudsail or whatever, but I can just kill Mienshao, so I'm gonna do that. Um, he switches out, so he booms me there, right? And my other idea that I had was to Will-O-Wisp the Mudsdale, but I was like, I see a kill on Mienshao, I'm gonna take the kill on Mienshao, but he switches out, so this was a bit of a misplay here from me. I do yawn the Mudsdale, but I forget that he has Rock Slide, so he just hits the Rock Slide, kills Talonflame, right? And so that puts me slightly on the back foot, But it lets me switch in Executor, which does a few things. One, I get to learn Mudsdale's item, which is AV. Good to know that because if he's not AV, I kill right away with Leaf Storm. And he needs to be AV to live a Leaf Storm, and he is. Um, so that's good to know. And then also it means that Executor has sleep available, right? Because Mudsdale has been yawned now. He might try and switch out. I could sleep the Slow King. I mean, there's just a lot of ways this works out for me. The best is probably sleep into Mudsdale on the switch out, and then high horsepower the Slow King, I think, is probably the best play. Um, I go for knockoff actually to get rid of the AV, which is still not a bad play. Um, and I learned that it's wide lens Mianchao, which is really good information because I forgot that Mianchao got triple axle. And as you see, one, two, three of my Mons just get nuked by triple axle. I mean, two of them, one has Rocky Helmet, the other has Rough Skin, so they really punish it because he loses like half his health. But Executor and Garchomp just died of triple axle. So really good to get rid of that and to know that information. Like, oh, he has triple axle. That's good to know right away. Um, and he protects on the high horsepower, but still not a bad play rate. Just to go for that. He fakes out Executor, which is kind of fine because I kill Slowking now with high horsepower. So I just do that. And so that's just a very beneficial turn for me. And now that Mudsdale is on the field, I can just sleep powder it again or yawn, right? And I know that I tank kind of whatever Mienshao throws at me, so it's not the immediate concern. So I'll sleep it, and then I'll just high horsepower and pick up the kill, right? Which works out really well again. And Mudsdale, stays asleep. And so at this point, Klotzer, I can just Leaf Storm, and then kind of chip away at the Mudsdale. Could also just double into the Mudsdale on the pretty obvious protect on Klotzer here, but instead, I just go for the Leaf Storm. And like the only way I lose a mine here is if it's a one turn sleep, and it is a one turn sleep. So it is what it is. Like that's completely fine by me. Because Garchomp gets to hit the field, and even though he does some nice damage, right, it doesn't really matter because he loses the Klotzer, and then he gets some chip off. But like this is a one game for me, so um,
Yeah.
yeah, I Hippo actually went crazy here. I think he got 5 kills to set, which is ridiculous. But I not only beat the undefeated player, I did it 2-0. So I felt really good about myself there. Felt like I played a really good set. I mean, there weren't too many. I think there were maybe like 2 moments where I could have, or 3 moments where I could have played like slightly better, especially with like the turn one lead, and then this this turn, not reading the protect. Those were like the only big moments. Everything else I felt like I played really solidly, so I felt really good about that. Having a game where I played well. So yeah,
Yes, he had no answer to Executor Hyper. He had no answer.
yeah, I think Executor really just showed its value in this matchup. Executor and Hippo being new additions to my team, and we saw like I literally led them both game one, and we saw the work they put in. So um, these were the two mons I chose to show off. Lycanroc and Rotom Frost are the other two mons that I picked up. Um, but yeah, these guys putting insane work. Also, you can just see how tall Executor is. Like, look how goofy that guy is. They made
Yeah,
him way too
that
tall.
does not work. So down.
Yeah, like here he looks like pretty normal, I guess. But like when you see his full body, it just looks so goofy. Um, so yeah, I felt pretty good about that. But let's move on to Rick versus P4. Pretty interesting matchup here because we have a lot of Mons that don't like their ability taken, mainly the Indeedee and Ursaluna, and Crawdon, I guess. But Revavum doesn't love losing its ability. Delphox doesn't care it actually at all, but Alchemy also doesn't love it because of like uh uh what Sweet Veil or something, whatever that ability is. So those are not great abilities to lose, and so Wheezing you can expect to put in some work here. Um, But Ursa's also really good into this team. We see that there are 4 ground weaknesses, which is kind of insane, and 2 resists to normal, right? So like it can probably, but both of them are weak to ground, so like it can probably put in crazy work here. Um,
Yeah, I'm surprised it's Super Berserker, not Slowking. Slacking.
oh yeah, no slacking being brought is also really interesting. Especially with how good Wheezing looks here. You think you would want to get a little bit more out of the Wheezing just by having the slacking there. I think it probably fits a little bit better, but yeah, it is a little bit interesting there to not bring it, but yeah, let's get into the match. Um, we uh we see immediately there's no Wheezing leads, so Psychic Train can just come up, which is really awesome if you're Rick, right? That's ideal for you. Um, though you are immediately threatened by Volk with the bug move. So we see a Terra Fire helping hand. Oh my god, is he just gonna rip like a heat wave or something? And E Force just gets to come out for free. And it is a heat wave. So there goes Indeedee, and Delphox takes a ton of damage. With that Terra Fire, that might also be Specs. Just with how much damage that did into Delphox. Delphox is frail. It's Terra Fire. It's helping hand boosted. But it still might be Specs with how much that did. Um, so that's pretty nice damage there. Crawdon actually hits the field, but can't like Aqua Jet to kill the Volk because of Psychic Train being up. So it could be just like protect and then attack out in Delphox, and then Delphox moves first, so he's able to kill both. Like that's kind of ideal if you're, or just like since he moves first, you can maybe do something like that. But it is instead it's a switch into Ursa, and on the other side it's a switch into Berserker, as E Force does rip, but doesn't quite kill Electivire. As then Wild Charge comes out as he barely hangs on, but takes out the Delphox, and so now it is a 2v2, no Trick Room. So if we're in the situation, like yeah, you're not maybe not in the worst board state if you're a Rick, but like you're a little bit concerned about that Volk in the back, and then whoever else is in the back. Like you probably want to feel like you lose this game, right? So protect on the Crawdon as follow me on the Headlong, not Earthquake. If this was Earthquake, I mean they're both dead, right? Very easy. Um,
Yeah.
instead, it's a Headlong, so that probably indicates he doesn't have Earthquake, right? I don't see any other reason why you wouldn't click Earthquake there because the Protect Crawdon, there's no wide guard, right? So I think you revealed that
Well,
he's not Earthquake, which is a really interesting ring into an Electivire Volk team, right? With the 2 redirectors. Maybe,
Electivire, Volk, and you. There's so many Pokemon weak to ground. Why don't bring Earthquake?
yeah, it's a little weird. I don't really agree with that, but I mean, if he's not packing Earthquake, it's got to be for a reason, right? So if he's running Headlong, Facade, which are like guaranteed, right? Then if he's not running Earthquake, he's probably still running Protect, and he probably wants a coverage option. So that's probably the thought process. Like, well, I want Protect still, and then for a coverage option, I need to drop something, and I don't want to drop Protect. I'm going to drop Earthquake. That was probably the thought process. I'm not exactly sure what that coverage option is, but we'll probably find out. So he does pick up the kill on Electivire, but Berserker might put in some work here. And Ironhead does over half to Ursaluna because of the -1 defense. So another one will kill. But Crawdon outspeeds the Metagross? What?
what?
Is this min speed Metagross? That's a crazy sell, honestly. If it is, or just maybe not a sell because he
How
was expecting
I
Trick Room.
I will have to see the Pokepaste of this Metagross. 1 minute. What?
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, it's room service Metagross. So it's definitely min speed with room service to underspeed Ursaluna. That's for sure what it is. Um, and so he gets punished for that because the Crawdont now outspeeds it, which normally would be a good thing underspeeding Crawdont in Trick Room, but no Trick Room set up this time, and so Uh, there goes the Metagross, and now, oh, he doesn't go into the Ursaluna. If he had gone into the Ursaluna, then it's Volk and Berserker. Volk definitely outspeeds, kills Crawdon, right? It's game over. But instead
Yeah,
goes into the Crawdon and will lose the Berserker.
I think he was not counting on Metagross being hit killed
I think that's
or
for
being
sure right.
outspeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not counting on it.
Wait, but he should have. Maybe he just assumed it was min speed Crawdon as well, and it wasn't. That's probably what it was. Yeah, because he knew that he needed a room service to underspeed Crawdon, but he undersped Crawdon without a room service because it's not min speed Crawdon. Got you. And in this situation, if you're protect on both, you probably just do it and then Aqua Jet and kill Volk, right? And yeah, that's great call there by Rick.
Yeah, that's what's happened.
Because now you just Aqua Jet and that'll kill for sure. Yeah, and it does because your adaptability with Life Orb, right? So you kill. And I mean, you get the confirm of Flame Body, which you already knew was a thing, right? But yeah, wow, great comeback from Rick. Like, if you told me at this point, like after turn one or after turn two, that he would win this game, I'd be like, wow. Because that's what I was saying. This sport or field state is like not good for P4, but he has two mons in the back, so like you think he for sure, and there's no trick room up, so like you assume he wins this still, and here you assume he wins it, or sorry, here you assume he wins it, right? And here you assume he wins it, but uh, but Rick made a really good comeback there, and a little bit of an error on P4's part as well to help with that, but yeah, crazy comeback there. Coming into game two, I noticed there's also Terra Psychic and Indeedee, which is interesting. Indeedee's not Terra banned, so he just is Terra Psychic, I guess.
Full expanding force indeed.
That's only on Indeedee male, actually. Indeedee female doesn't get Expanding Force.
Oh, so I don't know why he's psychic.
In the Volcarona, it's a little bit odd. But, yeah, I think the big concern with if you're P4 is that like you felt like you had it in the bag and then you lost it, so you might get a little tilted, or you might think that like maybe you do want Trick Room to come out because Trick Room didn't come up there and it kind of bit you, so maybe you let Trick Room come up, then use Metagross and Berserker, right, to lean into that, or you try and bring Weezing, because Weezing would have been really good in the lead there, so maybe we see a Weezing lead here. And it is Hitmonlee Volk, actually, so no Weezing again. Could actually be the Misty Surge on Weezing, which would work well with the Hitmonlee if it's White Herb Hitmonlee, or sorry, if it's Misty Seed Hitmonlee, because he gets the immediate Unburden. But that's a little bit of an odd strategy into this team. It's a little bit better because Misty Terrain means no status, so Ursaluna can't be burned, which is awesome because there's no Guts boost then. But it's still a problem because you don't want to make your Hitmonlee like super fast into this team. I don't know. I maybe that's why he's concealing that Weezing, which would make some sense. In reveals, actually, it is Psychic Seed Hitmonlee, so it's probably not Misty Seed, or it's definitely not Misty Seed, but it's probably not Misty Surge, which makes sense, right? Because his abilities are really important. But yeah, we see the Spadef boost, which could be relevant from the Indeedee, right? The Terra Psychic could have been to like pick up a kill on something that it wouldn't normally, and now even with the Psychic Seed would probably make it live, I imagine. I don't know. Yeah, we see a Follow Me. It's a Rock Slide. Maybe to cover for a switch. I think Knockoff is always a better play because Hitmonlee gets Knockoff. I'm like 90% sure. You just knock off the Indeedee. But like, there's definitely a better play than just Rock Slide, right? Because you're hoping for a flinch, I guess. Well, maybe if you knew it was getting redirected anyways, actually, in Bug Buzz, that's reasonable. But I think Heat Wave, like you'd probably just click like dark, like knockoff or something like to do damage into Indeedee, and then Heat Wave. I think that's probably a better play. But
Yeah, for sure.
that's what I think at least. But a parting shot on River, I didn't even know this guy got parting shot until this. He
Yeah,
parting
this
shots.
is this is a surprise.
Yeah, if I were before, I'd be like, what? But he goes into Ursaluna, who gets the free burn. So actually, really well played there by Rick. Um, I mean, he not a good turn for him, but like good ending to the turn, right? To get the burn off on Ursaluna, and Delphox does hit the field, which is pretty threatening, but he's also threatened by Rock Slide, so maybe he wants to Terra Grass there, but then Bug Buzz is still good, so I don't know about that. He gets scary faced. Wow. As Bug Buzz goes into the Ursaluna and crits.
The
Wow.
crit.
Crit. I'm pretty sure mattered. I'm pretty sure there was a conversation about that. And it mattered. Um, though I can get fact check on that as well. But yeah, really bad losing the Ursaluna there to nothing. Um, and Trick Room does come up. I mean, like imagine it was Protect there with Trick Room. Oh my god, that would have been the best turn ever, right? Because you have full HP Ursaluna and Delphox, and your Delphox is now -2 speed in Trick Room versus these guys. I mean, you'd be in such a good spot. But yeah, um, now if you're Rick, you're kind of cooked, right? Because you can E-Force, which does some damage, but like Reverum needs to Terra here into water, which is not bad, I guess. But yeah, just not a great situation. He does E-Force, doesn't kill either because of the Spadef boost, and doesn't Terra actually, so we'll die to a Heat Wave, but it's Bug Buzz and a Delphox who lives. Wow. And now it's Berserker hitting the field. Berserker will actually kill, though, whoever he wants to. So that's a little bit of a problem there. And he will just pick up on Delphox. And no Terra again from Reverroom. Just no Terra at all this game so far. Reveals the Okaberry on Berserker. But yeah, this is for sure Specs Volk. He should be switching out, though. If you Instead of just bug buzzing the Rev, you should switch out. But maybe he doesn't want to reveal last, so I guess that's reasonable. Reveals the wow. I don't know why he did that. I mean, might as well kill the Volcarona. You learn what the last mon is. There's no reason to not, right?
Yeah,
Makes no
gunshot.
sense
Oh,
there. Um, and yeah, you have another. I mean, like you could have just totally killed the Volk or like done more damage to the Berserker, maybe killed that. But I think you just kill Volk, and that should kill, right? You had Terra, so you could have prolonged it too. But maybe you knew that he was Specs and didn't want to do that. But then you could have Terra'd and then killed. I don't know. Maybe it didn't matter, but I think the you probably want to take advantage of those turns if you can. Um, but yeah, let's move on to game 3. Rick and P4 both been playing really well. I like how Rick's been playing a lot, but P4's offense has been kind of too much for him to handle at a lot of times. So we'll see if that changes. And we see a very offensive lead with Crawdaunt, but uh, Revavroom maybe less so. I don't know. Crawdaunt might want to protect here, honestly, but then Revavroom might get like nuked by Heatwave, so I don't know. It's a fake out into Crawdaunt who should have protected, I guess. And Heatwave, oh wow, does just kill the Revavroom. Yeah, should have been a protect on Crawdaunt, but it's okay. I think he was going for the Aqua Jet there into the Volk, but now it's a switch into Wheezing. Actually, gets rid of the adaptability and the guts on the protect there. Aqua Jet does come out, but doesn't do like any damage, and then we lose the Crawdaunt. So wow, complete 180 there. And now Indeedee hits the field, and he's not ability shield. So maybe have we?
it's very rough for Ricky. Very rough.
Yeah, we haven't learned that. All he's done is click follow me then die. So just a horrible turn for Rick. Like I mean, at this turn you're like, yeah, you had a pretty bad turn 1, but it's doable. Here you're now burned without guts, so you have to click facade because Headlong Rush is doing half damage. Um, you're in front of Hitmonlee, who basically you want to tear that, but also Indeedee just feels like it's kind of cooked. So you're just like in a really bad spot. He does Terra Ground, which works pretty well and tanks the D-Gleam like crazy. And Facade does kill him only actually, so that turn does work out pretty well. And you get Trick him up, so actually really good turn for Rick. Yeah, I thought it was pretty doomed, but Ursaluna tanked that CC, so now he's out in a good spot. And with Electivire and Volk and Wheezing, like Ursaluna goes crazy here. If he can just kill Wheezing, then he just wins with ground moves, right? And
Think
we
we've
see it.
seen a Ursaluna sweep.
I mean, maybe it's a reverse sweep. Yeah, that'd be crazy. And we see the helping hand into the protect. So really good protect there because he's able to get off some really nice damage into the, or maybe not really nice damage, but it gets off some damage. So now Weezing will die to a facade for sure, or a headlong. I don't. There's kind of no reason not the facade there, but sure. I mean, is it Terra Ghost? It's Terra Flying. Yeah, it just always makes more sense to. But Terra's already used, so I think just always facade there, because of the burn and maybe it didn't kill, but I would be surprised if even if it's Terra boosted headlong, is still well with super effective. I guess maybe it does more damage. Um, yeah, but he might just die to Electivire here. Psychic Train comes up, which is really nice, but now he just wild charges into the Indeedee, and now all of a sudden P4 has a Specs Volk who can't protect, and this Electivire. So if you just follow me, you win, right? Follow me plus Headlong, you win because Electivire. Well, actually, if it's protect Electivire, then he could win this, right? Because he could protect the next turn. He wild charge plus protect, or wild charge and then protect the next turn. I think you win, but we'll see.
But
It's a double
it's a
follow me though.
yeah, it's follow me, protect, wild charge, helping hand. He can't hit Saluna.
Wow. I mean, Volk can probably kill here, right? With Heat Wave or Bug Buzz. But he can't Bug Buzz because Indeedee, so he has to Heat Wave here. So actually, this is the winning play. You follow me and Heat Wave, and then it doesn't matter because you can't kill the Volk before he can move. It doesn't matter if Electivire can't hit Ursa or not because you have Volk to hit it, right? Oh my god. It's Bug Buzz. Ursa's just gonna
Oh
win.
no. Yeah.
Ursa can just Fachad. And boom. Wow. That's a what a crazy set. I mean, like so many things could have made P4 win that or made Rick win that. There's just like so many things there. That's ridiculous. Wow. What a set. What a set. Both played really well though, I will say. All right, now we have Pilza versus Chuckles. Um we have two people who are new-ish to ODL because Pilza did play last season. Actually, now that I think about it, um, Chuckles is new though, and Pilza was subbing in the season, so um, helped them prep for this one. And the only thing I really helped with was Hariyama because I was like, Hariyama goes crazy here. Like everything else, his sets for were really good already, but and he's improved a lot, so I think he didn't need really much help. But this Hariyama set felt like it'd be really good into Chuckle's team generally. And looking at the mons he brought, I mean, Hariyama kind of goes crazy here, right? Like what threatens it? Kind of nothing. Maybe Farig, maybe Klefki, like maybe Haxorus might have, but like there's kind of nothing on his team that really threatens Hariyama, especially a thick fat Hariyama. So yeah, we see a Hariyama in the lead, which makes sense with Whimsicott. So um, here, even if Trick Room gets up, Hariyama doesn't care. He's just tough like that. So Fake Out comes out into Whimsicott, which is a little odd because Whimsicott could be Covert Cloak, and also Hariyama's probably the bigger threat in the field. Whimsicott is Covert Cloak, uses Light
It's
Screen,
correct.
and then Knockoff comes out into the Farig, revealing the goggles. Ooh, so something I noticed, right? Like if Farig is Sap Sipper, then he is immune to Sleep Powder, right? But he can get Prankster taunted. But if he's Armor Tail, he can get slept even if he's not even if he can't be taunted, he can be slept. So with safety goggles and armor tail, he can't be slept or taunted, and that's the only way to avoid that, right? Or like Lumberry or Chestoberry, but goggles is better, right? Really good, like smart stuff from Chuckles there already. But Trick Room is now up, and that's kind of the gateway drug for Chuckles to start sweeping, right? Um, but what's Whimsicott wanting to do here? I'm not quite sure. All right, well,
Scout has to leave the field or helping hand. I don't know. Does he have it?
that's true. Helping Hand would be nice. D Gleam also would have been good into the Shiftry, but it is a Torkoal switching in. Um, and we see Curse Hariyama. And Psyshock comes out into it, but it's Psyshock. If this were Psykick, oh my gosh, this Hariyama would be very low on health. But it's Psyshock because he's +1 defense. He tanks that thing. Actually, spoiler alert, he wouldn't have been low on health because he's like very high SPDF and like 0 defense investment. So he probably wouldn't have been. He probably would have been around the same health, but still, it's the Psyshock actually works out for Pilsy here, and the curse is interesting. So it after one curse, it'll underspeed Snorlax, I believe, but it needs two to no, maybe it needs two to underspeed Snorlax and three to underspeed Torkoal. I think that's how it works. So it's kind of crazy, but the idea is like after multiple curses, you can like drain punch back and get to full HP, and you tank everything as this Hariyama set. So he can be a real demon. Um,
I see. I see.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
D Gleam does
Diglin.
just rip, and yeah, Hariyama now behind a light screen actually feels like he's in a pretty decent spot, but it's a switch out, so Frey is not even attacking into the slot. As we see Terra Fire Torkoal, but a wide guard from Hariyama on the eruption. Great wide guard there. And D Gleam just does a ton to Shiftry, so great play there. Wow. And now if you're Chuckles, you've lost some good health on your Torkoal. You probably want to fake out the Hariyama because you know you can't fake out the Whimsicott. So you could just fake out Hariyama and Eruption, and that's a pretty good play. Oh, my headphones fell off. Whoa. Sorry. I just dropped my headphones. Um,
No worries. He goes for the fake out.
and yeah, so the correct play there by Chuckles, and he does just Eruption. So Hariyama, I mean, 15%. That's crazy from Terra Fire Sun Eruption at 68. That that shows the thick fat and very high SPDF investment or max SPDF plus a lot of HP. It's just like this Hariyama was so tanky. Whimsicott dies, sure, but Whimsicott already did it. I got up light screen. That's all it really needs to do right now. Got off some chip, right? So now Vikavolt hits the field, and in a Vikavolt, this is a fun set. You know, you'll see later why, but the Torkoal just protects, which is pretty reasonable. The only weird thing is that it's the last turn of Trick Room, so it's like if there's any time to attack, it's now, right? With Torkoal. Um, but the Thunderbolt does come out into that protect, so maybe a good protect. And Drain Punch just nukes Snorlax. I mean, Snorlax is just destroyed there, and that's why it's a really weird switch, honestly, because you're going from a dark type to a normal type. Um, so I think anytime we saw this in the Raphael matchup, where I think it was this
Yeah,
turn where he
yeah,
switched from a grass type into a fighting type, knowing an air slash was coming, like that's kind of a mistake, right? Because I mean, he got lucky there, but normally that's a mistake, and it's kind of the same thing. Like switching from like a fight, or you don't know, but like a fighting move from the fighting type is probably coming out into the dark type, right? And so switching into a normal type is almost always a mistake, just because you're gonna be taking super effective damage still, and so. Snorlax, the one time he's not Choppleberry, just gets completely destroyed.
yeah. And you see Pills in the chat saying that definitely intention for sure. He was targeting Shiftry.
Oh, I forgot about this. Dude, Fire Dragon Duck in the chat. He was just some random guy who joined. Like, look at this,
Oh,
bro.
the Septile guy, the Septile guy.
Yes, bro. He just joined. I said, "Hi, Fire Dragon Duck." You can see you joining the chat as well. Um, and then yeah, he starts just commenting, and then he's like, shocking how Harry was running guts, because I think he's a single. I assume he's a singles player, and so he's like, oh, it's thick fat Hariyama. That's interesting. Um, and that's maybe like a little bit of information that he shouldn't have shared, but he didn't know it was a draft. Like he was just some random guy who came to watch. Um, and when Pilsa said that, it's probably in response to this, like saying like, "Oh, whoops, I forgot to change my guts." Like as a joke, like, "Oh, definitely intentional." Yeah, like playing it off. That's what I assume. But yeah, he is like fat Hariyama. Now in the situation, Hariyama can get faked out again, right? So you probably want to protect Vikavolt here. And then like Drain Punch Shifter. It doesn't really matter what you do with Hariyama. He's gonna live whatever. So, but instead we see the Torkoal move before the Vikavolt. That's because this is a power anklet Vikavolt or power item, which is the same as Iron Ball pretty much, except without the other side effects. It just halves your speed pretty much. So Vikavolt is now slower than Torkoal by exactly 1 point. Because 43 divided by 2 is 21 and a half, and 21, and all numbers round down in Pokemon. So that's 21 and a half. It goes down to a 21, which is one slower than Torkoal, right? Um, so he actually gets undersped and just gets nuked. So there goes
Holy.
Vikavolt. So that was a little bit of a misplay by Pilza. And yeah, he just forgot about that. You could have just protected there, which I think was 100% the play, but it's okay because Venusaur is probably going to be able to clean up here. We see an explosion from Shiftry. So Shiftry just booms and does a ton of damage to both of these guys. Might actually be enough to clean up it with the Farig. If he's able to Psyshock, which should kill Hariyama, and then just Fire Move kill Venusaur, right? But it's a wide guard. Oh, and Sludge Bomb out. Of course he outspeeds. And then there goes Venusaur, but like Hariyama's gonna win this 1v1. Also, yeah, Wa does say that like he was a he was a Terra normal Shiftry, so Explosion makes sense, right? He ran Explosion in the past too, so it is a little bit reasonable to expect it, but still, you're not always keeping an eye out for it, as we saw there. But yeah, even with
My
this
question is, why the hell Shift learns explosion?
I don't know, bro. But he loves clicking it. He loves clicking it. That's all he does. Um, it's funny. Last season we actually, or season 2, I guess, we also saw a team with um Klefki and Shiftry on it, where Shiftry liked clicking explosion. We saw that season 2 with Amlo, dude. That was interesting. And I just forgot about that. But it was a Reg I team, which is odd that we have two of the same the same duo on it. But yeah. Um, But yeah, we see Hariyama takes not a ton from this eruption, and he's gonna heal back up and do damage. So Hariyama like except for a crit, like he's still just gonna win this, right? So he has to switch to Heat Wave, heals back up, and yeah, he's just gonna win this game. And then Fire Dragon Duck is just talking in the chat about buffing Sceptile. Like, who is this guy? Just randomly in this intense 1v1 at the very end with Hariyama and Torkoal, where Hariyama stands alone. Like, do you guys think they should buff Sceptile? um, but yeah, it's a really good game from Pilza, and Chuckles played really well too. But Pilza just like had a really good game generally. He had a few mistakes though, which were
Yeah,
somewhat
I think the
costly.
the protect on the last turn of Trukehun was strange.
Here.
Yeah, right there. I don't know why he protected.
Well,
He wouldn't die for
it
Thunderbolt,
actually was a
would
really
he?
good turn for Pilza because the Snorlax switching. So yeah, Chuckles. This is Chuckles' biggest mistake for sure. Um, but I think also like yeah, it was pretty cooked. This was Pills' biggest mistake probably was just like losing all of Vikavolt for no reason and potentially revealing that tech, right? If you know your min speed Torkoal, at this point you should know that Vikavolt is power item, right? That's the only way he would be slower. So, um, he revealed that, and that was definitely his biggest mistake. But we pretty much one big mistake on both players' side, and then like some smaller mistakes. But Pilsa just played a really good game overall, and that wide guard on this turn, as the Terra Fire rips, like that was a really good call there. It's like a really good turn for Pilza. So yeah,
And this play and the Snorlax going kaboom won the game.
yeah, he played a really good game, and so yeah, very very impressed from that. We go on to game two though, where Chuggles kind of has to adapt and maybe has to not sack Snorlax. Yeah, so Fire Dragon is still talking about his love for Sceptile, which is hilarious. But we see oh, and sorry, he's also moved on to talk about how it's wasting its ability and how he wants to buff its mega. But now Hirayama does get knocked off, goes for a curse right away, probably expecting a Trick Room on Klefki, and it is a Trick Room Klefki, so really good call there. Um, as Hariyama can honestly just go for another one, right? He can just yes, bro. Fire
Yeah,
Dragon Deck needs to stop about the Sceptile.
the dude loves Sceptile. What can you do?
He's talking about making it a physical attacker, like bro. Um, but Hariyama's honestly free to go for another curse here if he wants, right? And he Terra steals to do it more safely because Klefki was on the field, right? Makes sense actually. But because of the double switch, he gets a completely free turn, right? He's able to just get off another curse here, and D-Gleam just a little bit of chip there. But Wide Guard's actually a really good play here, too, because on the Eruption, oh my gosh, Pills is just playing a great game. Tanks the Weather Ball. Ground move would have been way better there, but Energy Ball, wow.
The energy ball, the energy
Doesn't
ball.
quite pick up, but like does a ton of damage. And now, like, Hariyama is putting in crazy work, right? He, oh, he normally need yeah, he Fire Duck reveals this whole time that he was not a friend of Chuckles. He's just some random guy who just watched the match. But uh Hariyama now underspeeds Torkoal, which is weird because 49 divided by 2 is 24.5, right? And so that rounds down to 24. Torkoal's min speed is 22. So theoretically, this Hariyama should not be slower than Torkoal. But Chuckles was running 31 IVs on his Torkoal. He just forgot to make it min speed. So it was minus speed nature, I believe, but it was not min speed. And so Hariyama underspeeds, gets some health back, and does a ton of damage, meaning Eruption will do way less damage. You can see it does nothing to this Whimsicott in light screen, right? He tanks that. And so even though Whimsicott dies here, Hariyama took way less damage from that Eruption as well. Meaning this Vikavolt coming in, who underspeeds both of these Mons, is going to put in work. Like, these two Pokemon in Trick Room are crazy. So at this point, honestly, you just want to stall Trick Room if you're Chuckles. Like, you want to get rid of Trick Room. But no Protect, actually. And Fire Dragon, like, talking
Yeah,
about Sceptile. Still, but yeah, he loses both. That's crazy. I mean, he didn't know Vikavolt was slower, but he should have known because of in this moment right here, where we see the
yeah,
eruption come
Turco,
off.
yeah, Turco was faster.
You should know at this point that Torkoal's faster than Vikavolt, or maybe that they're speed tying, but probably faster, right? Um, and so in this situation, you should know that Vikavolt is faster in Trick Room. So you want to protect probably on both if you can. We don't know the Gastro set. We don't know if he's protect on him. But Torkoal we know is protect, so he should protect here, right? Maybe a switch, just or maybe just stay in, right? Um, but instead, loses both actually, which is really bad because now it's Shiftry and Klefki who have to clean up, which is not going to be easy. So he can fake out, but he will just lose.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
get punched.
I'm not exactly sure why he imprisoned there. Probably imprisoning protect, I imagine. But yeah, Hariyama's going back to full, and there's just no way he can break this guy. He wide guards though, as the Thunder Wave comes out for the explosion. He wide guards the explosion.
Oh,
Dude, Pills was playing a great game. And wide guards the discharge to click it. And then might as well show off the magic room tech, which gets rid of the items, which he didn't actually click it at all this game. It wouldn't have really done actually that much to set. But yeah, crazy to see. I think the idea was for Flame Orb. If you click it, then Flame Orb Hariyama doesn't get to proc because the item loses its effect. That's probably the logic behind it. But yeah, Pilsel played great. I said oh my god, stop talking about Sceptile. But yeah, he just played such a good game. I've never seen him this locked in on that. And I realized that I forgot to tell him about this tech of like where you can wide guard and then your own discharge won't hit you, or your own like earthquake or any move like that. It won't hit you if you wide guard. I didn't tell him about that. He just knew that. He was just locked in. And so yeah, he just played a great game there. Really impressed.
Yeah.
And Chocos played great too, but like Pilsa was just out of his mind. Um,
No, he was prepared. This Hariyama, I don't know how Chuckles could break this Hariyama after one or two courses.
yeah, there's just no way. I mean, he was at full health at the end of game two, and at the end of game one, I mean, he barely lived game one, but like he soloed Torkoal at the end, right? Look how little his health is going down. Ready? It goes up 6, then down 4, then down 3. Like, I mean, that's crazy. And the other reason he doesn't hear is because he doesn't have any health to gain, right? Because, wow. Um, but yeah, really good set from Pilsa there. All right, so for this one, I'll let you take the reins on this one.
All right. The idea here of this team is that he brought Azuriel, yeah, then Azumarill and the Dragapult. I had to deal with them some
Mm-hmm.
way. It was the two that I was most afraid of, and I brought attack with low kicks to answer it. And I think the rest of my team could handle it. Like Bronzong, there was nothing that he could do against Bronzong. Only Incineroar and maybe a Flamethrower Dragapult.
Well, Dragon Ball also has Ghost move, right? But if you're Terra Steel, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen that Bronzong and low kicks were my plans for this match, and I brought them like, dude, win this for me.
Yeah, it's funny because I was like in mocks with Alberto, he was actually playing really well and he was beating me, but the mons that put in the most work were Bronzong and low kicks. I think like Azumarill was a real problem. I mean, like his whole team was like really good into this, and I think the Rotom was really good into Ursaluna, but especially because Ursaluna can't Terra, you know. Um, but yeah, he was cooking me, but the low kicks and Bronzong were problems, and those were probably the biggest problems. Um, thankfully Alberto's just in time to watch this game, right? But yeah, you can if you want to kind of direct, you can.
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh, I thought you would. uh,
No, sorry. In this first round, what because everyone that play against me and my trick home tried to imprison me in the first turn. Everyone. So I just went out and tried to kill Furret because I was expecting the imprison. Everyone tries to imprison me. And the
yeah,
imprison comes. Yeah.
yeah, makes sense. Um,
And then without the head direction, I kinda went all out. And I have a misplay because liquidation, all right, brings me very down. I should have doubled Azumarill. It was a misplay by my part. And then next turn, I had another misplay.
oh yeah,
The Aqua Jet, yeah, the Aqua Jet. I didn't count for that at all.
he Psyshocks you, which is like no damage.
Yeah, no damage at all. I
Oh, you traced
and
regenerator.
yeah,
Imagine you
this
traced huge
trace.
power.
Yeah, huge power. It was gonna do something. I don't think.
If you had Terra Blast, I mean, and you Terra'd, like that could
Oh,
be putting in work.
oh yeah, yeah. Because
there
But
were
then,
some games in last season when I had P2 where I didn't run minimum attack because of fearing like struggle bug or snarl or something. And so with my 31 attack IVs, I would sometimes have the Terra Blast be physical. There was a moment actually where I got like plus I traced Defiant and I got like +3 or +4 or something on my Porygon, so I had physical Terra Blast. It was like I think in some cases it's makes sense, you know.
always say, "Yeah, no, I didn't think about it at all."
But yeah, he does switch out actually. And Ensign comes in. On the Terra Water makes
Yeah,
sense for
but here
Ozzy.
comes this discharge. This discharge changes the game.
Oh my god. Triple para on the discharge. That's insane.
Yeah, and now I can't use Trick Room in this situation because Paragon will outspeed the other two. Bronzong can get parried, and he will get parried. I this was I don't even know how to talk about this discharge.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, and then he gets full para. As he said, Strict Room. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
he counters me at all. I can't use Trick Room right now, so he uses it.
Wow. Yeah, and he yeah, that's my I mean, we were all just like, damn. Um but do you mean to body press into the slope, bro? Do you expect to switch there?
Yeah, I was expecting the switch.
Into Ozio?
Yeah,
Who also resists body press?
yeah, but I only have Shadow Ball and Body Press. I was afraid of Azumarill. I was not afraid of Incineroar at all.
But wouldn't Shadow Ball do more damage either way?
I don't know, my dude. I if I run the calcs at the time or I misclick, I don't know. But I always misplay. I think I misplayed at all at at that. But I was trying to get chip damage on Azumarill the
Hmm.
way I could.
Gotcha. And now he protects. Oh, we get a full parrot again. But there goes the Eviolite. That could be big. And we see another full para.
Yeah, it's a para party. It went so downhill.
And there goes the Slow King. Or Slow Bro. And now Ozzy with Terra Water is going to be putting in work. But he Terra Water, so you do a ton of damage with the body press. And he doubles. He doubles the
Yeah,
Porygon. Really good
I
protect
think
there.
I think this was the play that set the game
Yeah, because at this
because
point, Trick Room's gone, and so now Porygon's the fastest thing. You just win. Yeah.
yeah, I protect, discharge, kill Azumarill, and
The parry
Incineroar
doesn't
can
matter at
do
this point. It's
nothing.
game over.
Yeah, he can do nothing.
I mean, he is Citrus Berry, so maybe he kills Porygon, right? Oh, yeah, but you should probably protect and body press. Yeah, you did. Good call. And good call targeting the Bronzong, but yeah. Like hoping for full para. So you guys both played that last run, right? But yeah. Wow. What a what a game. You know what's funny? Um in mocks I was thinking like Porygon has this problem where he likes to run protect and Terra Blast, and then recover is also really nice for it. But like he wants to run protect and Terra Blast, but then if you give him coverage, right? Let's say you run protect Terra Blast, you get like one coverage option maybe, and then recover, right? Or Trick Room, right? If you want either of those, you have to pick. And so like you like Porygon really struggles with being able to find room for coverage, and so but based on how you play this, I assume this isn't Terra Blast and Porygon, right? With Discharge and Ice Beam.
No, it's another Trick Room. I
Yeah,
brought Bronzong and Paragon with Trick Room.
yeah. So, I mean, you would have been clicking Terra Blast if you had it, especially into Incin, right? So, we know that Porygon is now not like the way you get more coverage as Porygon. Sometimes it's just by getting rid of your base attack. You just like don't have Terra Blast, which typically you always want it, but like you don't need it, necessarily. So Yeah, really well played game one there, and the Bears were crazy, but
Yeah, because he has Azumarill. The only one that can hit Azumarill for damage with the water, it's Paragon. It's the only one. The others can do shit against that water Azumarill.
yeah, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Um, but very well played game, and let's see how you adjust for game two. You still take the reins.
And this comes the Dragapult that I was very afraid of. And for some reason, low kicks is not showing on. It's a low kicks.
Oh, nothing gets faked
Eh,
out here.
Yeah, and this was a misplay by me because I had Terra Ghost to counter fake out,
Hmm,
and it didn't Terra.
that's kind of okay though. He gets reflect up, but you get the coaching boost, which is really nice. And yeah, I mean that's kind of nice because now he can't like ghost move you, so actually works out pretty well. You get another coaching off.
Yeah, and then comes the knockoff hit kill.
I mean, there goes knockup. You can't click it right now, but like, ooh, you actually do take a lot of damage from U-turn too, even though you're +2 defense.
Oh yeah, and in this way, the Akana low kicks has done its job. It's strong, it's a threat, but he has taken Dragapult out. And now it's time like to Cinderace to take the reins and go on all out.
He
But
is
Hotto,
-2, but yeah, he can.
no, yeah, you say he comes back later, but Hatomo kind of destroys this team later on.
Ooh, so it's a switch into Comfey. Makes sense because you can, if you protect and switch into Comfey, next turn you can heal up the low kicks.
Yeah,
And you
that's
also
what
scout for
happens.
protect on Rotom, so good play there.
But he will see that he does a play that's better than mine. I didn't expect what he does.
Ooh, he Terra steals. You Brick Break into the Ensign, but not the Rotom. And then Thunderbolt just kills. Wow.
Just kills, yes.
And then he taunts the Comfey, so he now can't heal or set Trick Room or Tailwind or anything. Wow.
Yeah, he plays so well this round, so well.
Yeah, that was a good turn for him. Ooh, Azu does hit the field. A little weird to switch in Azu hard, but I mean, makes a lot of sense. He tanks that, right? And Rotom
Yeah,
comes back out.
he reads my Pyro Ball. He's played so well this turn, these
Yeah, the
two
last two
turns,
turns,
and
he's just, yeah, been playing great.
I was so much on the back foot.
The only problem though is that these taunt turns are ticking down. Then once they're gone, then you can heal things back up again, right? Or you switch. That works too. As the ooh protect on the Aqua Jet and great switch on the Leaf Storm, man. Because now, I mean, you're in a situation where Bronzong can body press. If he switches, it still dies, right? So he has to kind of protect here. Um, but then he lets you get up Trick Room, so it's like it's kind of a cooked situation, right? Like this slot is kind of in a bad spot. And then
Yeah,
Cinderace too. Like theoretically, you could coaching to help you live. You could Pyro Ball into this slot. I mean, there's just a lot you could do.
yeah, and this is how I get back into the game.
When you switch into Comfey, it makes sense. You can heal back up the Bronzong next turn.
Yeah,
He Liquidations doesn't kill, but yeah, Body Press does kill, and it would have killed without the switch too. So makes a whole lot of
yeah.
sense there.
I don't know if he doubled on my Bronzong. Of course, he didn't know I was searching everything. But I think if he doubled my Bronzong, I don't know if he would kill it with Leaf Storm because he Leaf Storm
Well, he could
took
have
so
Thunderbolted.
much of me. Yeah, or Thunderbolted because Leaf Storm took so much of me the first one.
It
I
did.
think the first game I don't remember quite sure.
I mean, Rotom didn't come game one, but here we see that um Leaf Storm just 39 resisted. So if you take away 40 base power, keep it stab, but make it neutral, then -2, it's probably doing less than 39, but it's that you don't need 39 to kill you, so it probably kills. Or maybe it's a roll, but either way, pretty solid play from you. I personally would have coachinged the Bronzong just so that way you live like no matter what, because then you tank the Azu hit better, right? But then you don't get Comfey on the field, meaning you could have a low HP Bronzong, meaning you could be kind of cooked, right?
Yeah, the idea was to heal Bronzong and for him to keep fighting. I was
Yeah.
not switching him out.
But yeah, I think the play might have been like coaching plus Trick Room, right? Because then no matter what, you get up Trick Room, and if he protects Rotom, that's not a bad play. The only way you lose is if he protects Rotom here and then goes for a liquidation into Bronzong. Then this play actually doesn't work out for you because we're now in the same situation, but he has instant in the back still, and Bronzong will die to another one. I mean, you can heal up actually, I guess. So you still probably win. Actually, never mind. You still probably win. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, with the floral healing, this is like you're in such a good spot. You take a ton of damage from that, but he's just gonna die. Yeah, we doubles up in the Comfey. I mean, Rotom goes down, but this is just over. And yeah, you do coaching the Bronzong now, so he tanks that liquidation, loses that defense, but shouldn't matter at this point. Oh, especially not with Gunk Shot Cinderace, really nice
yeah.
there.
I think Bronzong carried me so hard in this game. He
Bronzong
just
putting crazy work.
yeah, bowled these games so hard, so hard.
I mean, your team since you picked up these new Mons has it's just been night and day. I mean, your team was decent, the team you drafted, but I kind of cooked you week 1 because like it wasn't your gameplay. It was just like my team was just better than your team. Now, if we were to replay, like I'm scared. Like you've been on a crazy run. I mean, you're now 4-1 since week 1, right? So, like
Yeah,
you're
three consecutive wins.
yeah, I mean this new team has been like putting in work for you.
Wait for me to get stomped by before or later.
Well, I'm kind of hoping he beats you now because you've made your way towards the top of the standing. I mean, I'm not gonna say exactly where you are yet because we don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, you've made your way pretty high up the standings, and now it's just like I'm scared because like but how we do it is the top 4 seeds get to choose their opponent from the bottom 4 playoff teams, and so it's not like I would want to fight you, like choose you anyway. So it's like maybe I do want you in the top 4. I don't know, but
We'll
yeah,
see. I'm trying to reach the top four. Let's see. Let's see.
but you played a great set there. I mean, nothing. Even if no matter how you end up in playoffs, like that doesn't take away from the fact you played a great set. So well played. And Alberto, I mean, put in work too. He had a well played set. It's just very back and forth. All right, so moving.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
we both
sorry. Go ahead.
a misplay would end both of our games.
I mean, yeah,
We
probably.
couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't misplay at all.
But you both just played so well. But yeah, great set. Um, moving on to what is our final set because Spam and Saline weren't able to play this week because of Spam. So this is actually the final set we have. But we have TBL versus Soup. And Soup here looking to get his first win, and TBL looking to get his third win and to move him back up to neutral, right? Um, because he was 2-3 before this. So, um, honestly, if I'm Soup, I'm feeling a little cooked because like Grafai with Sunny Day is like the best option with Charizard. Other than that, like I don't know how you're beating the rain here. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's see. We see it as Pelly Arch in the lead and Grafai. So ooh, and a trace of stamina. That's pretty cool. With Terra Steel on guard here, this could be putting in work. Who knows? But yeah, Grafai should Sunny Day here probably. And switching to Zard, as it is Sunny Day, Tailwind comes out and good switch on the Flash Cannon, but will take Solar Power Chip actually, so loses like half health. And then Encore's the Tailwind, really nice there. As good
really nice, really
protect,
nice.
but again, just losing. You're down to half health from just 2 Solar Power Chips and a Flash Cannon, right? So you maybe wanna, yeah, you probably just wanna rip a heat wave here. Honestly, good switch there. Honestly. Oh, but you get outsped because of tailwind. Yeah, of course you do. Oh yeah, that was cooked. Like that was just not gonna work from. Like that was just never gonna work because speed control. Damn. Okay. Well, Charizard was kind of wasted
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I don't know if he could tank the first Dragon Pulse and the attack. I don't know because he protects and he gets shipped by his own solar power.
I think yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a weird play there, but we do see a solid rock trace from Gardevoir, so you'll take a little bit less, but he switches back into Grafai and protects here to stall the last run of Tailwind, but takes a ton of damage on Grafai. Wow. And low kick Grafai, not doing a ton, but with Draco will pick up. Ooh, but now that Grafai is gone, Mence is stuck in the field at -2 with Gardevoir. No more weather control. And it's actually a drizzle.
And he
That's
drizzles.
hilarious. Oh, but he gives the scarf to Arch and is now AV. That's awesome. Because now Gardevoir has a chance to come back on its own. Wow, that'd be crazy. Drops the Draco there, but loses half health to Icy Wind. And I mean, Gardevoir is the only chance he has here. But Barraskewda hits the field.
Yeah,
I mean,
Barraskewda will clean
Gardevoir
it.
has to like T-Bolt into Barraskewda, but Mystical Fires. Oof. I like this Gardevoir set, but revealing it this early is just really bad because it didn't do anything. So, any chance it had to be good, which I think it had a good chance to be good. Um, any chance it had though is kind of gone now, and so Soup is really forced to adapt for a game too. But yeah, I think the answer is to use Charizard better. Don't let him get up Tailwind for free. If you have Mence with Tailwind, click it. If you have Grafai and can change the weather, that's great. But yeah, you got to use Grafai a little bit better too.
Yeah,
Same,
Charizard was wasted.
and it's the same lead from TBL, but thankfully Charizard's in the lead this time instead of swapping, right? Which means he could be putting in work here with a Heat Wave or a Weather Ball just nukes
Oh,
Arch, even though
there
it's
it
AV
is.
Arch. Wow. Really good start from Soup. I mean, come on. But speed control means that Pelly will be able to get off a Tailwind here, probably for free, as he protects again in Sun, which is just like every turn you're protecting in Sun, it costs you. Also reveals that it is Harvest Arbolva, which is interesting. Um, but yeah, this Rhyperior might Terra, but like that's kind of the big threat. Hurricaning in Sun, by the way, is crazy. I think Weather Ball would have been a good bring on this Pelipper, but he's probably not running it. So goes for a Hurricane, but it's 50% accurate in Sun, so it misses. Um,
Yeah, he could Ice Wind,
oh my God,
but
Rock Slide does so much damage. Maybe his Banded Rhyperior, but like that's just insane damage. Arboleva is able to Strength Sap though, so that's really nice. And we'll get its Citrus Berry back because it's in Sun. Um, Harvest has a 50% chance to get your item back at the end of the turn if that last used item was a berry. But with Sun up, it turns into a 100% chance, so Arboleva will always get its item back, which is awesome. With Slowbro hitting the field too, we could see a Trick Room here, which could be really good because there's not a whole lot of there's not a great way to kill Slowbro here. Like I don't think you can. There's any chance really to kill it, and Arbolva probably lives too unless a Hurricane hits. So maybe like a Protect plus Trick Room here would be really good. Or because of the switch here, a grass or sorry a Energy Ball would be really good here too. But we see a Terra Grass and a Terra Steel actually. No flinch, no flinch.
oh, the
Oh,
crit. Crit and flinch.
wow, that's brutal. That's brutal. Though we know it wasn't going for Trick Room because it moved before the Arboleva. So maybe it didn't matter that much. As we see a growth Arboleva. Interesting. At this point, though, weather's gone. Arboleva has to Energy Ball here, right? With Trick Room. That's like the only way to win this. But it's Iron Defense. Ooh. Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, in this situation, yeah, I mean you're in a decent spot with these two guys, but like you just die to earthquake plus hurricane, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, it
Oh,
actually he should have weather balled the
weather
turn when he
ball.
hurricaned. That was just straight up a misplay because he had weather ball. But yeah, there goes our ball of and rock slide into slow bro as he flinches.
Yeah,
Oof.
and Slowbro can do nothing.
And yeah, no, it's game over now. But I think you had to if you trick room on yeah. I mean like this game is it's pretty over. Oh my god, just so jeez.
Oh,
It's been like four
Slowbro.
flinches. This is ridiculous. That's crazy. But in this on this turn, right? You energy ball into this, or even if you growth, right? That's actually not a bad play. Or let's see your Giga Drain, but either way, you growth here and then Trick Room. I mean, that'd been great. But you didn't Trick Room, right? You were Iron Defensing probably. Um, and then here you really got a Trick Room, right? Um, but and especially because you're losing so much health on Arbolova. But instead, you go for an iron defense. If you click Trick Room here, you win the game.
Yeah,
Honestly, like
yeah,
because Barraskewda dies, right? So you're in this situation, but Trick Room's up. I mean, Arbolova moves first. If it's min speed, which it should be, you can strength sap the Rhyperior, or you can energy ball the Pelipper. I would say energy ball Pelipper will kill, right? You can attack it with Slowbro too to just double check that it's not sash, right? Um, but I would just double the Pelly, and then there's no way Rhyperior. I mean, maybe Rhyperior kills, but you have Charizard. I don't know, actually. Maybe it's a little more complicated than I thought, because you can't fully strength sap the Rhyperior without risking a death to Pelly. But it's much better to go for Trick 'em either way. You do have Zard in the back, but I don't think it really matters at this point because Rain's up.
yeah. I think Zard is dead at this game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know because weather ball did so much damage.
it really did. I think I think the biggest problem was the use of uh solar power. I mean like this Charizard had a lot of potential in this matchup, but with the protects, it felt like the protects were good, but because of solar power, he just lost 12% every single time he protected. And so it got him in range of something. And so like yeah, I think it was a little unfortunate how he was used, but also, TPL just played well, and he had a really good team here. He brought a really good team into this match, I think. Even though Arch died right away to that Zard, he still put in work earlier. So, like, I don't know. I think it
Yeah,
was a
but
well played set.
yeah, his score of Pelipper Barrasquilda Art was just too
So,
hard to beat.
sorry, say that again.
His score of Pelipper Art and Barrasquilda was just too hard to beat.
Yeah,
It
and then
was
Rhyperior just on top of that, like, but and yeah, you're right. Those three were the real problem. Mons. So yeah, that core is really scary, especially with Scizor too. I should not have let him pick up Scizor, um, because Scizor is just a real scary mon. Um, but yeah, that is about it for the battles part. In terms of Elysium and Fields, let's. I think I'm definitely an Elysium candidate. Beating the undefeated player and making very few mistakes the whole set. I mean, I lost two Pokemon, the entire set. The two mistakes were the ones I highlighted, which were this turn, because of the switch on Slowking. If he had stayed in, this would have been a good trade for me, actually. Getting the Yawn off, and the kill on Mienshao in exchange for Talonflame. I would take that any day of the week, and that's what I was going for, actually. But because he switched there, it was a misplay. Um, though I wouldn't have been able to sleep him if I had burned him, so maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. And then here the one turn sleep, like the way that this is a bad turn for me is if it's a one turn sleep, right? And it is a one turn sleep, so I think this is a safe play though, so I don't regret going for this play. I think 33% of the time it's a bad play for me, but it is safer, and I mean I do win the game either way, right? So just guaranteeing the win is the big thing. it was just in terms of differential at that point. So I think I played a really good week.
Yeah, of course. I think Pilza played really well with his Hariyama.
I would agree. I think yeah, Pilza had an amazing week too.
Yeah,
Pilza's for
I
sure a
think
contender.
he didn't misplay one with Hariyama. That misplay with Vikavolt, the eruption one, all right. But Hariyama played so well with the wide guards, with the curses.
Yeah, I don't think he probably had 1 to 2 turns with Hariyama where it was suboptimal. Every other play was like really solid. Um, on that guy.
I
Uh,
think Yuhin and TBL was clean too.
yeah,
It was a
TBL played
clean match.
a decent. He played a pretty solid game, but I think this matchup was just really favorable for him, and with getting rid of Grafai really early, he was able to just guarantee rain. So TBL's like a consideration for sure, but maybe a little less so. I think you're definitely in consideration. I think you're up there with Pills and I. Um, and Alberto played a good game too. Trying to
Yeah,
think,
I still think you and Pilza were cleaner than me.
maybe slightly, but something to think about for sure. And you played a really good game generally. I mean, you did play a really solid game. Um, in terms of fields, so yeah, Elysium would be me, Pilza, and Hugh for considerations. Then for fields, like maybe Raphael just going for like the same strategy, and he did have a lot of turns where it felt like just not great gameplay. I mean, in the first part of this game, he was kind of dominant. I mean, like, oh, but yeah, he did have that switch into Toro, so we got lucky there. And then, um, in this situation, like he was able to just kind of chip down, didn't get any burns from Machagacha, which is a little bit lucky there.
Yeah, I think the third game, the first turn of the third game was, I don't know if it's a read, but it's not a read. It's each other were saying, "Do you really go for the same strategy again?" And it
Yeah,
happened.
after we literally saw the same turn one before. Like, are we going for it? Yeah, like I think that you're right. Like that going for the same strategy after it didn't work that you've been going for like this entire season. That at that point it's just a little too predictable. And so even if it's a good strategy, no matter how good of a strategy it is, like let's say my team is like I have the best strategy in the world on my team, but everyone knows it's coming, then they can prepare for it specifically, and it's exactly what happened there with Wah. So Raphael's consideration maybe. Um, I maybe Nick because he did bring in a hard trick room team, like a team that was just kind of so dependent on it. But I was also just like overly prepared, so I made it look like his team was worse than it was because of just
Yeah,
having the I had so many options with my whirlwind and sleep powder, and like I mean that was not really. I
yeah.
mean,
He what was he gonna do? He
yeah, in this
didn't have
matchup, there's kind of nothing
anything.
he could do because in terms of that. So I don't think him at all. I think P4 and Rick played solid games, but P4 had some moments where he like the no heat wave there was big. Um, I think yeah, just game one in general, he let like a crazy comeback happen. Like at this point, you think he's gonna win the game. At this point, you think he's really gonna win the game. At this point, you're like a little questioning it. At this point, you're like, well, how did that happen? And at this point, you're like, what just happened? Um, but yeah, really well played from Rick. Maybe Rick's also a slight consideration for Elysium, but I think maybe it's more of a Fields consideration for P4. Um, yeah, I wouldn't give it to Chuckles. I wouldn't give it to Alberta. I wouldn't give it to Soup. Well, maybe a little bit to Soup, actually, because of how yeah the Iron Defense there was a real big sell. But again, like it's kind of like Nick's matchup in the sense of like what could you really do at that point? And the answer is probably not a lot. So, but
Yeah,
maybe
and I
also
think
consideration.
it's just a casino bring Trace to a weather war with Drizzle.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean, at that point,
know.
it didn't really matter because he was getting up either way, but I know what you mean. Yeah, so those are the considerations for Elysium and Fields. Um, And now let's take a look at the perfectly framed MVP race. So uh, we see a standout above, by far above everyone else, is Rick's Ursaluna. And not only is it is it above, it's 8 kills above my guard drop, which is ridiculous. Because like this MVP race is really close, except for Ursaluna, who's just like by far the front runner, putting in
Yeah,
crazy
what the
work.
hell? How? 24? How?
It's just like the best mon on his team. But yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Um, Garchomp being my number one makes sense because I dropped my one of my best mons, which was the Titan, who was top 6 when I dropped him or something like that. Um, Volk being up here makes sense because he's definitely the best mon on P4's team. Um, I'm surprised to see Magnezone actually as Raphael's number one option.
No, no. Taurus Blaze is
Oh, he's
number
number
one.
4. Yeah, you're right. I just
Yeah.
missed it. So that does make sense,
The
actually.
younger point guy is the number one.
That does make sense, actually. Never mind. Um, but Magazine so has actually had a good shot here. Nick with his 2 Mon that have both had insane records. I mean, the reason Bisharp is slightly worse is just because of the match where he didn't really do anything. I don't think he even got sent out, actually. Um, no, he did. He did at the very end of game
Yeah, game
1.
two.
Or yeah, maybe
Game
game
two.
2. The one where I had Orchid.
Yeah,
So
but
game
Dragonite
it was game 1, actually, I think.
has not been killed yet.
Yeah, but Dragonite 13-0 is insane. Alberto and Chuckles, both of their mons have only come 3 weeks. And so the fact that they're this high is ridiculous, especially Chuckles with the Snorlax. I mean, all he did in last game was just die. Like, he died one
Yeah,
time, and he's still
he
top
hits the
7.
field. He hits the field. You got kicked out.
That's crazy. Um, Alberto
Or
also has
punched
another
out.
mon up here, by the way, with his Ensign. You have him on just squeaking in the top 15 at with Cinderace. Wah has his Kilowattrel, and Soup has his King Gambit. And then Saline also has Tyranitar. And just below, he also has Decidueye or Hisuian Decidueye and Hisuian Braviary as well. So he has 3 mons top 20, which isn't bad, at all. But oh yeah, then Scizor for TBL. Also 11-0, really impressive there as well.
Yeah.
Didn't come this week, so basically in 3 weeks is 11-0. But I think he's basically 11-0 in 2 weeks because I don't think he did anything in the other matchup too.
No,
So
yeah, he didn't. He brought it against me, but it didn't hit the field
yeah,
at
so
all.
that's twice now he's just showed up, um, and so yeah, really impressive performances from a lot of these mons. But let's take a look at our overall standings where we see that Nick is in first place. And now that I beat him, we are actually tied in terms of set differential and game differential, right? Because we're both 5-1 with a +6 game diff. Though he's 9 mons ahead of me in terms of mon diff, and actually
Yeah,
you're ahead of me too in terms of mon diff.
yeah, but Nick lost this week. So plus 21 with the
With the
loss this
loss
week,
is
it's
crazy, and I mean,
yeah, it's crazy.
I had a very positive swing, right? Because I beat him um 6-0 total, or sorry, 6 I it was 8-2, so basically +6 for me, -6 for him. So that's a 12-point swing, right, in my direction. And still I'm 9 behind him. So
Yeah,
that's
he's so far ahead. Holy.
just a testament to how good he is. But you're in third now, actually, which is insane. Like, you're having a great season.
Oh yeah, I think I pick up the pace right now, and like I said, watch me get stomped right after here.
I hope not. Well, I kind of hope so because I'm scared now that you're coming for me. But Saline and Wa also at 4-2. You can see that you guys are all pretty close together. Wa's Mondiff is actually insane. How is he only have a +1 Mondiff for 4-2? That's crazy. Um, but still 4-2 means that he's actually a contender for the top four spots. If he wins out and you or Saline lose, then he could move his way up, for sure. And even without that, he could just play really well, or play slightly better than you were, especially Saline, right? To get up there. Um, then we see that P4, Alberto, TBL, and Chuckles are all 3-3, but TBL has a 6 higher Mondiff, and so he's squeaking in above Chuckles. But the last few weeks will really determine those spots. And then Pilza, Rick, and Raphael could all make playoffs with 2 wins, I believe. I'm not sure if Raphael can at this point with 2 wins, but I think he can. Um, and so most,
Reflect too. I'm rooting so much for my Brazilian boys. The three Brazilians should we have to go to playoffs.
I mean, you have 2 Brazilians already locked in playoffs, pretty much. Actually, one locked in playoffs, one with a good chance. If playoffs were to end today, yeah, the top 4 teams would be Nick, me, Shanji, and Saline. And that means that we would be able to pick in descending order our opponent. So Nick would be able to, let's say he chooses TBL, then I would choose like Alberto, Shanji chooses P4, Sabian chooses Wa, right? But let's say Nick doesn't have to choose the 8 seed. He could also choose like Wa or P4 or Alberto. He could choose whoever he wants. And so that's a perk of getting top four, and that's why we have 8 teams make playoffs, just so we can do that. I think it's a good way of doing it, and it really rewards those higher seeds because in Pokemon matchups are huge, right? So um, let's say I don't want to fight a Weather War versus TBL, and I think he can destroy me with his rain. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna cross him off from my list. Maybe I look at someone like, or in Wa also has rain, right? So these 2 rain teams I'm really scared of. So let's say I choose to go for one of these guys because I don't want to fight a Weather War and they don't have weather. Like there's a lot of ways you can kind of go about the thought process. It could be that like um I fought P4 in the regular season and lost to him, so I don't want to fight him again. That's not the case. We didn't fight, but like, it could be like that. Or I did fight Wa in the regular season and I beat him, but I already revealed all the tricks I had to beat him. So now, if I fight him again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna lose because I've shown him all my cards, right? And so now he could maybe beat me. So like, there's just like so many like kind of layers to who you want to pick. I have no idea. I was hoping that that these guys would get some more wins, so they would get up to top four, so I wouldn't have to fight any of them actually, um, because I just don't like fight. It's gonna be a tough playoffs no matter
Yeah,
what. Like we
yeah.
just
I
have
had
so many good teams.
yeah. Alberto Tibiala was so hard to beat them. I don't want to battle them again.
Exactly. Like, you don't know who you're gonna choose. You're like, I mean, the only person I'd want to choose is Saline because he beat me last season, and then I chose him round 1, in playoffs and lost to him last season. So now I think I'm 0-2 versus him total, and so I just want to get my get back. But that's the only that's nothing to do with this season. So like, there's
It's just personal.
yeah, no, it's all fun and games, but like I want to prove myself, but I'll take a top 2 spot as well. So hopefully we'll see these standings kind of stay similar, and hopefully for me at least we see the standings kind of stay similar. But we do have a chance for a comeback for one of these guys for sure, to make playoffs, and that would be really interesting. So in the next 2 weeks, we'll see how things shape up. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Do you have any final notes, Shanji?
Oh no, just I'm pretty happy to be here, and I'm new to draft, and this is the best league that I've ever played.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good to hear. Um, I'm really glad. I think we have such a special community, and so it's always awesome being able to have new players. I mean, the new players last season were Alberto, who is the top player, um, and uh, maybe just and Soup as well as a new player, um, and Pilza were the new players, right? And then this season we have you, who's already a top 3 in the league, right? P4 is new to doubles in general, but new to this division this season, and so he's a playoff team. Oh yeah, Alberto joined last season. He was a playoff. He's currently a playoff team. Chuckles joined the season, and he's potentially a playoff team. I mean, like we just had a lot of like new players and a lot of good new players. So it's like it doesn't matter when you joined. Like we're just all like really close in terms of standing. So yeah, I think it'll be fun to see how this shapes up, and good luck to everyone in their final week. Everyone besides Raphael and Spam, my two opponents, the next 2 weeks. But yeah, good luck.
Oh,
Good, just kidding. But good luck to everyone, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week with the week 7 stream. Or yeah, week 7. Peace.
peace.